That's the kind of fun we get into here. There we have it. That's an old beam there on the left. It goes down. That one wasn't too bad. It wasn't right in the ground. This one here was right in the ground. The beam sits in here. My foot is. I've already taken it out. This is the bit of the sheathing here. It's got a little rod in it on the outside, but that's not the beam. The beam was here where my foot is. And I'll show you where it is. So there's the new one. New one there, 16 footer ready to go in there. And this is the old one that was in there. That was the top. And that was the bottom. It was completely gone. It would have been a rounded log with a flat top on it. Sawed it out in pieces. There's another look at it here. So that was this far end. It was just like set just like that. And there's the top. And then, like I say, right at the end, it was on a post up off the ground, and the rest of it here was just started to go. The farther you went along here, the more it was in the ground. So it was done. So the next step is to check for nails, make sure there's nothing in the way, and then I'm going to slide that guy in. It goes right from the end of that block. And it goes right to there. It butts up against that old one right there. It'll butt up against that, and then I can put a post under it, and I can size this one up after I jack it up a little higher, and if I want to leave that one in there, I can just put a post between them where they join, or I can support the cabin on the front here on this new one and then take that one out, which I might do. Well, I've gone this far. I've got some extra pieces, and it's only about 7 feet there, 6-7 feet, so I might change it out. Be done with it. Anyway, that's a lot of fun. I got a great mess made too, if you hadn't noticed. I've got ripped and torn. I got piles of stuff I dug out of there. I got piles of boards, the rotten floor in the porch. And then I'm going to go over. Right now I'm going to turn that generator off because I don't need the power right now. I don't need to be wasting that gas. So here we are. Coffee break. Time for a coffee break. Mind you, I don't have any coffee here. What I have is tea in a thermos mug. This is what I did last night. I came in, and there was all these old trees, bits here. This isn't the best firewood, this poplar, but what I decided to do as a cleanup was I cut it all into firewood lengths. It had been laying on the ground here for some of it since last year, some of it for a couple of years. And I'm gonna create a pile somewhere over here for firewood and just cover it up. Anyway, I'm gonna get that beam in over there, and then once that beam is in there, then I can support the front of this porch. I mean, a lot of people would just tear the whole porch off at this point, but I'm just gonna patch it. I'm gonna fix the floor, you'll see later. Okay, here's that beam going underneath. I've pushed it that far, and I spared you all the moaning and groaning, and some of it anyway. But yeah, it's really heavy, hard to do. And actually, I just wanted to, before I pass out here, I just wanted to get the hat off here. And I'm gonna pass my hat around and take a bit of a collection for my hernia operation that I'm most likely going to need when this is done. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Anybody else? Anybody watching? They can send money to my P.O. box. But anyway, that's I got a little bit. Okay, so that's the plan, Stan. I've been shoving that in there. I got about 10-12 feet in there already. I just got a little bit more. If I don't make it, someone please post this video. Okay, bye now. And as you can see, I've finished pushing it in. Fine tuning will happen when I put this beam here in front of it. This is the beam that will hold up the end of the cabin here. But it's in there. Yeah. It only took about 6 months off my life, that one. You wonder why Tylenol and Aleve is, ibuprofen, wonder why they're doing so good. They've lasted so long. It's because of guys like me. Because every night we go home after a day like this, and we whine to our wives, and then we have a bath, and then we take an Aleve or two, or some Tylenol, and sometimes the next day. So yeah, I do my part, okay, for the pharmaceuticals. Anyway, there's the old centerline beam stuffed in there. And yeah, we'll see. What I'm gonna do here in a minute is I'm gonna take the weight off this end of the cabin and let this floor joist sit down on that, and just then determine if it's made any difference at all, and what, if any, shimming it needs. Okay, very briefly, what I'm going to do to access the beam is I'm going to cut 2 holes in the floor. I'm going to cut one right within these lines here. I'm going to cut 1 hole there and access the beam so I can jack up and support it. And that's about 8 feet from the end of the building. And then over here, the end of the beam is going to be somewhere in this area right here. So I'm going to cut a, it's almost like a 2x2 square I've lined out here on the floor. So I'm going to just take this as a temporary post I had in there. That comes out. So I'm going to cut this out, and this will give me enough room to work on the end of the beam and on the center of the beam to put some support on that. Okay, so I'm going to put on a mask. I got a full face mask, respirator, because these are old floors and it'll be lead paint underneath, I'm sure. So there we go. Now I just wanted to take a little peek in here from the side and just see that there's that pressure treated beam I just pushed in there. I'm about probably 8 feet from the end here, so that's about halfway mark on it. And down that way there, right down there is where I pushed it in from. And you know what? I'm having so much fun here today. I mean, you wouldn't think it, but I'm rolling around. You can just see me here. I'm rolling around on the ground. I'm filthy. I've been shoveling and digging, and I've been jacking on stuff, and there's this song that came into my head, and it's an old song, not that old, but it's a song from the 70s or 80s or something, and you know, it rings very true here, and I'm gonna just sing a few bars. You don't have to take your clothes off to have a good time. Oh yeah. You don't have to take your clothes off to have a good time. Because that's just what I'm having here today, is a good time. And I got all my clothes on. So, yeah, just, I don't know, this could almost be like an educational video.